The day the fish fell from the sky. In the quaint town of Pebblebrook, where the river sang sweet lullabies and the cobblestone streets whispered tales of old, a most curious event was brewing in the sky. It began on a Thursday morning. Children were at school, adults were at work, and everything seemed perfectly ordinary. Little did they know, the heavens had a surprise in store. Charlie, an inquisitive 8-year-old with an imagination as vast as the sky, was the first to notice. He sat by the classroom window, dreamily watching the fluffy white clouds drift lazily across the blue expanse. His teacher, Mrs. Whittle, was in the midst of a geography lesson, pointing at a map and explaining the wonders of the world. Suddenly, Charlie's gaze sharpened. He rubbed his eyes, certain he was seeing things, but no, there it was again, a glint of silver flashing through the clouds. Could it be fish?
Mrs. Whittle, I think it's raining fish.
Mrs. Whittle, accustomed to Charlie's wild imagination, smiled indulgently.
That's impossible, Charlie. Fish belong in the water, not the sky.
But as she returned to her map, the pattering of tiny objects on the window pane caught everyone's attention. The class gasped as they looked outside. There, falling gently from the clouds, were fish of all shapes and sizes. Tiny guppies, shimmering goldfish, and even a few playful trout drifted down like leaves in autumn.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
The entire town soon erupted in a mix of wonder and chaos.
People grabbed umbrellas, not to shield themselves from rain, but to catch the flopping, wriggling gifts from above.
The normally bustling marketplace was a sea of laughter and astonishment, with fishmongers trying to sell their unexpected windfall and children running about, trying to catch the slippery treasures. Charlie, ever the adventurer, saw this as an opportunity for exploration.
Along with his best friend Lucy, he decided to investigate the source of this peculiar phenomenon.
Armed with nets, buckets, and their boundless curiosity, they ventured to the top of Pebble Hill, the highest point in town.
As they climbed, the fish seemed to fall more densely, creating a magical aquatic curtain around them.
At the summit, they found Old Man Rivers, the town's resident scientist and storyteller, peering through a telescope.
He had lived in Pebblebrook for as long as anyone could remember, and his knowledge of the natural world was unrivaled. "Ah, Charlie, Lucy," he greeted them with a twinkle in his eye. "I had a feeling you two would be curious about this strange weather."
"Do you know why it's raining fish, Mr. Rivers?" Lucy asked, her eyes wide with curiosity.
Old Man Rivers chuckled. "You see, the world is full of mysteries, some more magical than others. This, my young friends, is one of those magical days."
But if I were to hazard a guess, I'd say it's the work of the Whimsy Wind.
The Whimsy Wind?
Charlie echoed, intrigued.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Rivers nodded.
Legend has it that the whimsy wind is a playful spirit that loves to shake things up when life gets too predictable. Sometimes it makes trees dance, other times it tickles the clouds to make them laugh. And today, it seems to have persuaded the river to share its bounty with the sky.
Charlie and Lucy exchanged excited glances, a playful wind causing fish to rain from the sky. It was the most fantastical thing they had ever heard.
"But how do we make it stop?"
Lucy asked, a bit worried.
"What if it keeps raining fish forever?"
Old Man Rivers smiled knowingly.
The whimsy wind is a playful spirit, but it's also a wise one. It knows when enough is enough. But perhaps, if we show it we're appreciative of its magic, it might be persuaded to return things to normal.
With this in mind, Charlie and Lucy rushed back to town, eager to spread the word. They gathered everyone in the town square and shared Old Man Rivers' story. The townspeople, though skeptical at first, decided to go along with the plan.
Let's make this the best celebration ever!
They organized a grand celebration, complete with music, dancing, and a feast featuring the freshest fish anyone had ever tasted. They sang songs of gratitude and joy, thanking the whimsy wind for its gift of wonder and surprise. Laughter filled the air as children played games with the fish, and even the adults couldn't help but join in the festivities. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, the fish began to dwindle. Slowly but surely, the rain of fish turned into a drizzle, and then stopped altogether. The clouds parted, revealing a sky full of stars that seemed to wink down at the townspeople. Charlie and Lucy stood at the edge of the celebration, watching as the last few fish fell gently into the river. They knew they had witnessed something truly magical, something that would be remembered in Pebblebrook for generations to come.
This has been the most amazing day ever.
Yeah, and I wonder what other surprises the Whimsy Wind might have in store for us.
And as they headed home, tired but happy, they couldn't help but wonder what other surprises the Whimsy Wind might have in store for them. For in a world where fish could rain from the sky, anything was possible.